Excellent. So it's just there. Is that all right? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to friends, family and technical partners to the University of Hertfordshire and to tonight's UH Racing launch and reveal of our competition car, the UH28, for the Institute of Mechanical Engineers Formula Student Competition taking place in July in Silverstone. And for the avoidance of doubt, tickets are still available. My name is Mary Watson. I'm the Deputy Vice-Chancellor here at the University of Hertfordshire. And I'm so pleased to be here to join you in appreciating and celebrating the hard work of our students. Welcome too, of course, to our students and staff. More about them later. Every year, our automotive students work to design and build a single-seater racing car to compete against over 1,000 universities worldwide. Since its beginning in 1998, the competition has inspired teams to be innovative in their design and develop skills in both the technical and business aspects of the project, offering students, and our students particularly, of course, a unique and valuable learning experience to support their studies. But we're also joined tonight by the UH Racing Autonomous team. They are competing this year for only the third time and are looking to build on their strong showing at last year's competition. And a very warm welcome too, of course, to our wonderful prize-winning Spectra building, which has state-of-the-art labs for our students to use and to develop their skills. With it has come new challenges and opportunities as new equipment has come online, sometimes pushing deadlines a little, but the team are delighted to be here to proudly unveil their car this evening. The university are very proud of UH Racing's commitment to the Formula Student Competition, and we've been involved since its very first in 1998. We've competed every year since. 2020 was online, of course, and while a lot has changed over the years, the quality, the very high quality of our student entries has not. You can see some of the history outside here today and at our website racing.hearts.ac.uk/cars, of course, and see why we are the most successful Formula student team of all time. And that's not just my opinion, okay? So well done, everybody. The project wouldn't be a success, of course, without the help the students receive, not just from the school, but the wider university. Our thanks go to staff members who facilitate the projects, both academic and technical, but also administrative, our procurement teams, security, health and safety, and so on. The project touches almost every area of the university. Your support is invaluable. Also thanks to our partners and sponsors, without whom the project would not be possible. The teams are extremely grateful for the financial, product and technical support which has enriched the teams, and they are looking forward to sharing particularly the new car with you this evening. And to those of you, friends, family and supporters, of course, who have offered encouragement to our wonderful students behind the scenes. And so without further ado, a quick reminder to enjoy the evening, and I'm going to pass over to the team. Good luck.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, thank you, Mari, for that fantastic introduction. I just want to echo the thanks that we give to our university for facilitating the Formula Student Project, for continuing to allow us to push the boundaries of student engineering and develop our skills as we go into the industry. You join us in the Spectra building, in fact, in one of our CDIO rooms where teaching takes place from September all the way through to just a few weeks ago. We've kind of shuffled things around, so that's why you're all on wheelie chairs, so don't go mental spinning around. But this is a really special place to develop new engineers. We've had to move a lot of the equipment here, but it's a really specialized space with a lot of manufacturing capabilities that allow students to get hands-on as they develop their engineering skills. Formula Student is a very sort of multidisciplinary technical challenge. And as has been mentioned, we have two teams here with us tonight, the UH Racing team who have developed UH28, which will be revealed to you shortly, as well as our UH Racing Autonomous team, who take part in the autonomous racing aspect that is becoming more prevalent in vehicles produced each year on year. And in fact, I want to invite Reem up to the stage to talk a little bit more about UH Racing Autonomous and about the work that they do. So, Reem, over to you.
Thank you, Tom. Hi, everyone. I'm Reem Brahim, and I'm the team lead of UH Racing Autonomous. First of all, I would like to thank our Vice Chancellor, Mary Watson, for the introduction, and welcome all our guests and sponsors, faculty members, friends, and fellow students. We're really excited to be part of this Formula Student Launch Day for the first time, and we can't wait to share with you what do we work on as a team. So UH Racing Autonomous is the autonomous driveless team of the University of Hertfordshire. We were founded in 2022, and we focus on the autonomous vehicle development part as the Formula Student Competition. So our team is currently made up of 25 members across a wide range of schools in the university. We have students from computer science, robotics, artificial intelligence, motorsport engineering, automotive engineering, and business administration. So this multidisciplinary environment is what makes our team unique, and it's one of our biggest strengths. It allows us to work collaboratively on problems, developing the real-world systems, and which varies from hardware, electronics, software, business presentations, etc. In the Formula Student Competition, there's two categories. We have the DDT, which is the driverless dynamic test, which is what we take part in. And we have the autonomous driving system dedicated vehicle, which is supplied by IMACI, and we take it as a loan for 2 weeks. That's when we do our testing on campus. And on the larger scale, we're planning on working on building our own autonomous driving system. This will help us test throughout the year instead of just 2 weeks over the year. So in the Formula Student Competition, we participate in the DDT category, as I said, which involves building a sensor mount and placing it on top of the ADS-DV that's loaned to us by IMACI. And these sensors involve cameras, lidars, and GPS. They allow the vehicle to perform autonomously and take decisions on the track. And we also have a set of presentations that we work on. This year will mark our 3rd year competing in the Formula Student AI competition. And last year was we built a very strong momentum last year. We were able to secure 6th place overall and 2nd place in the static events. And right now we test our software on the IMACI car. And what makes our team very special is the collaborative environment. People from different disciplines. We have first years, we have master students, and mentors, obviously. They are the ones that support the upcoming teams and share their experience over the years. And we're incredibly grateful for the support we've received from the university, staff members, sponsors, and without them, we wouldn't have gone this far in this very short period. And if you'd like to learn more about our team, we will be showcasing our ADS-DV outside, since we're currently during the 2 weeks of testing on campus. And you can come meet the team, ask questions, and we will be going on brief on how our sensor mount works. Thank you again, and we'll be looking forward for this year's season at Silverstone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reem. The UH Racing Autonomous team is an incredibly exciting opportunity to look at the future of automotive technology and the future of UH Racing, so we're really looking forward to seeing what you do this year. UH Racing has a really rich history. We've been doing this for 28 years now, and we have alumni all over the world doing some incredibly exciting things. So it's my absolute pleasure to introduce Nick Atkinson, who's a senior design engineer at Jaguar TCS Racing, also worked on UH28, among other projects while here at university. So Nick, over to you. and lovely to see you again. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. It's genuinely such an honor and privilege to be here in front of you today, 10 years after graduating. Making this presentation has given me the opportunity to reflect on my first decade working in motorsport. And it all started here at the University of Hertfordshire back in 2015, which feels like a long time ago now, with this car, UH28. The goal of this car was to get it as light as possible, because we all know light cars are fast. I was in charge of doing the composites for this car, along with Samadhi, and we made the bodywork, all of the aero package. We made the molds ourselves, we made the parts ourselves, we just about got them to fit together ourselves. This was an incredibly light car. I think it was the lightest car, or lightest internal combustion engine car at FSG, which is such an incredible achievement. And despite this being the car that famously went around the skid pad the wrong way twice, the results were really good. 7th in FSG was an incredible result. And it was really the launch pad of my career. Because after that, my first big gig in motorsport was working for Toyota Gazoo Racing, which involved uprooting my life to move to Cologne in Germany, which is an incredible experience. If any of you guys out there get the opportunity to move out into a job, absolutely take that, grasp it. I was working on their LMP1 program, and I was, with my experience of composites, working on the front end of the car. So wheel arches, the aero shroud, splitter, nose cone, but the thing that really sticks in my mind was working on the headlights. I managed to take about 3.5 kilos out of the assembly, which we all know, light cars are fast. And it gave me the opportunity to experience such a surreal feeling for the first time in my career, which is seeing the designs that you've pored over and you know every intricate detail about cross the line and win something meaningful, because this car won Le Mans and it won multiple races on the way to the championship. From there, though, I moved back to the UK and joined Alpine, or Renault as it was when I joined. And I moved in a sideways way from composite design over to model design. So for anybody that doesn't know, an F1 team has got a 60% scale model car in the wind tunnel at all times. And your role as a model designer is to create the parts which populate the aero surfaces and the structure of that wind tunnel model. A car I worked on there went and won a Grand Prix, and that's incredible. But the highlight for me of working there was 2022. So 2022 was a big regulation change. For the first time in years, aerodynamicists weren't able to look up and down the grid for inspiration on their ideas. It all had to come from clean sheet. So me, model designer, a surfacer, and 2 aerodynamicists set to work on the bodywork for this car. And we got it right. We came to the same conclusion that Red Bull did, and the same conclusion that the rest of the grid has now converged on. We got it right, but we got it right through following good engineering principles and teamwork, because we achieved something greater than the 4 of us individually could ever have done. I decided I needed a new challenge, though. And I took the opportunity to come to my current job, which is working for Jaguar TCS Racing in Formula E. I'm a mechanical design engineer, but it actually kind of transcends that because we're such a small, lean team. So I'm in charge of the cooling system, but the reality is I end up doing a bit of everything. So in my time there, I've designed a little chamber that goes in the driver simulator that replicates the feel of the regenerative braking, because in Formula E it's very rare that pads actually touch discs. So to try and replicate that feeling through a little hydraulic chamber in the simulator. I've also laid out rooms when we move building. I'm sure you all know the experience of that with this. I go downstairs and I build the pumps that I designed that then go on the racing car, and I'm also in charge of the office sweepstake, where we predict the winner of each race. There's a lot of you in the crowd, I imagine, that don't really know much about Formula E, because I'll be honest, I hadn't really watched a race before I got the job. To explain a bit about it, Formula E is in its 11th season at the moment. We're in what's called the Gen 3 era of Formula E. The car we run is called the Gen 3 Evo. Ours specifically is the Jaguar I-Type 7. It accelerates 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds, which is quicker than a Formula 1 car. It's got four-wheel drive capability for the launch and for attack mode. It runs on all-weather dual compound tyres, which are pretty cool, but hard to get working. And all in all, it's quite a light racing car at less than 900 kilos. Unlike F1, though, where you design everything, we have a very limited parameter. It's called the manufacturer parameter for what we design. The manufacturer parameter includes all of the rear suspension, the main case, the gearbox, the cooling system, MGU, inverter, all stuff that you guys, I assume, are very familiar with your electric car. Unfortunately, though, you don't really get to see it very often because it's hidden underneath standard bodywork. But also, unfortunately, sometimes you get to see a lot of it. So this is Sam Bird's car from Rome in 2023. He had a sizable shunt, as you can tell, but it's one of the first times that the work that goes into our car really ended up in the public domain. What you can see here is we have long wishbone suspensions, which is a very challenging thing to get in a mass-neutral way. It's much better to get the tires working, but to achieve it in a way that doesn't make the car overweight is very challenging, and it's something we managed to achieve. The main case is composite. You can see all of the inserts that have been ripped out of it, and you can see our high lithium content alloy gear case, as well as the gear teeth, which are very much usually innies rather than outies. Also, that front wing isn't from our car, which shows what a substantial shunt that was. Everything on this car doesn't happen by accident. It happens with a load of designers sat poring over every single detail, trying to optimize it for the case that we are running. What am I working on at the moment? Gen 4. Gen 4 is not a step up from Gen 3. It is a leap. The power basically doubles. We've got permanent four-wheel drive. We'll be hitting well over 200 miles an hour. We've got cut, slick, dry, proper racing tires for the first time in Formula E's history. The boost charge and the regen capability is enormous, and we've got different configurations of bodywork. These cars are going to be absolute monsters, and they're going to be faster than Formula 2. I'm sure you can tell by the way I talk about this that I love what I'm doing at the moment. I love the engineering behind it. I love the problem solving. But I also love the personal aspect. This might look like a lot of people compared to a Formula student team, but for a championship-winning single-seater team, this is nobody. Compared to my time in F1, where nearly 1,000 people, this is just over 100. And the really nice thing about working for Jaguar is that I know every single one of them. So at the back, there's Dan and James, and at the front there's Gemma, and we're going on holiday to Portugal in a couple of weeks. In the middle, there's Will, who stood in for me when I was on long-term sick last year and managed to deliver a race-winning gearbox pump. I know the stories of all of these people. And when I look at that picture, I see a ragtag bunch of mates who are using very limited resources to try and take on the best in the business. And it reminds me loads of when I was in Formula Student. Because at its core, through motorsport, it's made by people and brilliant minds and brilliant people working together. I'll leave with a little bit of advice. So if you're graduating this year, the best bit of advice I can give you if you want to be a designer is go and buy yourself a 3D printer. And I know being a student is a life of trying to live like, tenner to tenner. But if you can get yourself a 3D printer, you can solve problems around the house. And if you can solve problems around the house, when you sit down at an interview and say, here's a bracket I've made to attach my doorbell to the door because it kept falling off, you can know every single bit about that bracket. every radius, every pocket, because you've been a designer, you've demonstrated experience. It's very easy to feel like a lemon when you get to a racetrack because everybody there knows exactly what they're doing. They're drilled into them. My advice for that, if you want to feel competent when you get to the track, is buy yourself a clapped out car. That's what I did. There's me hanging out of my MR2. The principles are the same. Doing a brake change on your MR2 outside your house versus a panic brake change before FP2, the principles are exactly the same. And if you do want to keep having a career in motorsport, you've got to make friends with the people that are there, because when the going gets really tough, they're the ones that pull you out of it. Now, finally, my advice for the Formula Student team is really enjoy what you've done here. Enjoy tonight, enjoy going to the event at Silverstone, because you've not just built a car, you've built the foundations for your career. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nick. These are the stories that get us young engineers really psyched to go into motorsport. This is what gets us up early in the morning and working as a team, and it's fantastic to see the parallels between what you're doing now in your career and what we do on a day-to-day basis as well. We've had a really fantastic year so far, and we're really looking forward to what happens next. We've had the opportunity to work with some fantastic partners this year, and one of those partners is Picture8, who have been supporting us with our marketing. So we've got a quick video to show you that tells a little bit of the story of what we've been up to this year and also where we're going next. So I hope you enjoy. Each year we design, develop, build, test and then compete with an open wheel Formula style vehicle.
Is a true culmination of all the work that the team has put in the last 5 years to bring this EV concept to life.
There will have easily been hundreds of thousands of hours worth of effort put in.
And our goal this year is to compete dynamically at FSUK, which is the first time we would have done so since starting our EV journey in 2020.
When we're moving to Spectra, our new building, we got all these new equipment, new workspace. From the start, it takes a bit of time to try to settle in, try to get everything together. Now, with everything set up, this building is a new home for the team and the university to work from. To manufacture a complex race car with such a small team, the challenge is trying to balance the form student workload with our university workload. During the manufacturing stage, we do a lot of planning. This is a critical part for us to build the car smoothly. We work with partners to make sure the tools, the parts arrive to our workshop on time, so that when we are building the car together, there won't be any delay. Teamwork plays an important role. We need communication and trust between every team members to ensure that everything goes smoothly, so that we are ready to face different challenges when we're manufacturing, designing, and building the car.
Last December, where we had motors spin under their own power for the first time. I think seeing the combined effort of all of the teams leading up to that moment was really, really special.
It's all your hard work in one car, and it's really rewarding at the end of it all.
And it also gave us the confidence that the concept that we developed was capable of running dynamically, and really sort of boosted our confidence and pushed us into another gear coming into the following year. I've been here for now what is the majority of the journey going to an EV, and I've seen firsthand the various challenges that we've had to face to get sort of where we are now. What we do stems from our heritage and 28 years that we have been a Formula student team and what we've achieved in that time. I think in terms of where we are now, we're a very ambitious team in what we're creating effectively, and what we're putting together with UH28. I think a lot of that is that ambition and wanting to compete with the very best.
We know there's a lot of potential in our EV powertrain concepts that we've currently got. Following some testing that we're going to do ahead of competition, we're hoping to be very competitive. Launch is a really big milestone for the team. It's the first time we're able to show off this year's car to all the stakeholders, all the partners and the friends and family of all the team members. And it's a really proud moment. It marks the point where the car is ready to do some testing.
I want to end my time at the team on a high and show off to the rest of the former student community exactly what we've been working on. And again, hopefully set up for future teams to build on what we have and ensure that our legacy is sealed for the future. Thank you very much for, to Picture 8 for producing that fantastic piece of content. It's been so rewarding this year, sort of just every day putting in the effort, getting up early, going to bed just tired, and then having to do it the next day. But that's what Formula Student is. And I only get to do this for another month or so, and it's been by far the highlight of my time at university. It's the reason that I'm here. It's the reason that I've stayed to do an extra year. The first time I stepped foot in this building was back in August because I refused to take more than a 2-week summer holiday because I wanted to get right back into the action. I was told very quickly I wasn't allowed in any of the technical spaces because it was still moving in time and we were going on through snagging, but that's why I was back. I was back to do this. I love this, and I'm going to love it at Silverstone as well. And I just want to take a moment to thank everyone that's made this possible, because it's not just the team. I mean, it's fantastic to see you all dressed up this evening, and the effort that you've put in is phenomenal. And in a moment, I'll get everyone to come up and unveil this new car, but I also want to thank everyone outside of the team that's made this possible. Thank you to our technicians. Thank you to Kev for welding the chassis. Thank you to the university for facilitating the project, be that through providing us a space, providing us with the manufacturing capabilities, allowing us to do things like high voltage build work through rigorous health and safety planning. Thank you to the sponsors for allowing us to do testing, allowing us to come into your facilities and show off what we do. We're so proud of this project. That's why we're here. And I'm going to really miss this when I'm gone. So before I get too emotional, the UH28 team, please join me at the front and we will unveil our new car. Thank you very much. We might stand up here for a minute just to grab some photos. We appreciate that it's a little bit cramped in here, so in a few minutes' time, we'll wheel the car back round to the front for some further photo opportunities. But for the time being, thank you to those at the back snapping photos. Everyone put on a smile. Okay, thank you, folks. As I say, we will wheel the car around to the front, so we invite you to exit back through the foyer if you could, please. And please, yes, help yourself to drinks, refreshments, all out there at the front for you. Thank you very much for attending. I hope you enjoyed the evening.